Okay, we'll roll with it, see how it goes. Obviously, if you guys have spent any amount of time on my channel, you know that my best performing video is the video that I first put out, which is a video talking about Walter Mitty and how it changed me. This is a movie that I watch once a year, at least, if not a couple times a year. That is because it is my all-time favorite movie. And if you couldn't tell, the poster back there is also Walter Mitty. So there's a couple things in this movie that stood out to me the last time that I watched this film. And one of those things was the scene where Walter and Cheryl are walking down a street in New York City, and they're just having a casual conversation, trying to get to know each other as they go to Cheryl's son, who is skateboarding. And the cool thing about this scene is there's cuts that happen when a vehicle or a person passes past the camera. And this gives them a chance to pretend like it's one take, but they're actually cutting on each of these transitions where something's moving across the screen, and then you see the next clip or next scene. This gave them a chance to reset. And from what I know, when they were filming this movie and this particular scene, they actually filmed it on the streets of New York. And you can actually see the Radio City Music Hall sign behind them, which shows that this is a busy part of New York. So that's one of the things that caught my eye when I watched this movie again recently. Another thing that constantly blows me away is the transitions. These transitions are amazing and so creative. You see different things like a text message on the side of a mountain. And then another thing is you see a plane that starts in Iceland and then it ends up in New York City. You also see a transition from a film negative, and it transitions over into Walter taking a look at these images in a real world scenario from a top-down shot. And this is actually one of my favorites because you see the Kodak logo and it actually stays there with the film type right next to it, and it stays there as the transition completes through. It's pretty insane stuff. I have seen this movie so many times that there are certain things that stand out to me where I'm like, that doesn't quite match up. And it's nothing that you would have noticed your first or even your like fifth time watching this movie. But literally, I've seen this movie probably the most out of any other movie in my entire life. One of those scenes is when the helicopter pilot is sitting down at a table and he's talking with Walter, and they're just having a conversation about if he should go on the plane or not, and a storm that's coming. And what you see is there's a stain on his shirt, and that stain isn't always there in every single take. And so that's just an example of one thing that kind of irritates me just a little bit, and it shows that I've seen this movie way too many times.
The boat phone?
Yeah, the phone on the boat.
You mean the ship to shore?
My all-time favorite scene in this movie, though, is when he finally meets Sean and is having a conversation with him, and it's really an abstract, kind of weird conversation, but it's so meaningful at the same time because Walter finally figures out that the film negative was put into his wallet that Sean gave him, and he has thrown the wallet away. And so Sean has this great opportunity to share that beautiful things don't ask for attention. And he's actually up there trying to photograph a snow leopard, and he doesn't take the photo. He says he likes to stay in the moment. And sometimes he doesn't take the photo because he wants to stay in that moment. And I think that this part of the movie speaks volumes to me because sometimes we're just rushing through life. We're trying to get to the next thing, to do the next thing, but we're not just being in the moment, and we're not taking a breath and just realizing that life is short. Cherish those moments. And I've heard some people say like, man, why didn't you just take the photo? But I get it. And I appreciate this last scene with Sean. And it's so beautiful and inspiring. Oh, I can't get over it. And the mountain landscapes that surround this scene, just, I want to be surrounded by those mountains all the time.
Walter Mitty. Seriously. How the hell did you get up here?
After watching a movie, you get this sense of why you like it and also different things that stood out to you. And I wanted to point those things out in this movie because, man, I've seen this movie so many times and it just constantly inspires me and inspires me and inspires me. And I hope that that is the same for you guys. If you have a movie that you love and you just want to talk about it, then go for it. This one is really just the start, the pivotal movie that like changed so much for me. It's why I became a creative. It is why I've been inspired to create so many different things. And so I hope that you guys have a movie like that. Please give this video a thumbs up. And I am so excited to just film content. I love talking about movies. And until next time, I hope you guys watch your favorite movie, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Later.